Hello fellow hunters. Comparing gunlances sucks balls. Especially when you have to take into account several big factors. The raw damage, the affinity, the shelling damage, the elemental damage, exploit ramp-ups, the sharpness. It is impossible to find a single gunlance that has all this together. Rathian's gunlance? No exploit, no affinity, no sharpness. Zinogre's gunlance? No affinity, no shell level, no sharpness. Even Rakna gunlance, what is going to be the clear all-around winner, has the very worst raw of every normal here. So, there are a lot of questions to resolve, the principal ones. Howlitzer is still just as good as the normal 5 gunlances? How far away are in damage the different normal gunlances? Can a gunlance with Aquatic Exploit or Flying Exploit beat Rakna? First, let's talk about the ruling used in the comparison. I wanted to use the build closest to reality, good attack but still room for enough quality of life skills. The build template I use is the one that defines best these requirements. Kaiser Helm with critical I3 and critical boost 1 is the very best offensive helm in the game. Bagel Helm only have 3 relevant skill points and 1 is guard. Fake chest is another staple in gunlance builds. In general, chests are terrible in this game and this has level 3 and level 2 slots. For real builds, if you are using Wirebug Whisperer, don't use this and take Kimura chest instead, but here I'm not about normal build optimization. That is my next video once I have one winner to optimize. And then, just bagel pieces, good slots, good guard and no real reason to use anything else. This template paired with a charm with evade extender, protective polish or weakness exploit with 1 level 2 slot is easy to complete a build with the base skills of weakness exploit 3, critical boost 1, critical I3, protective polish 2 or 3, grinder 3, artillery 3 and load up. This is 65% extra affinity and 30% damage criticals, no bad. And then I decided to add 3 extra points since the build has the spare skills. I decide to do 2 sets for the blue sharpness gunlances, either use handicraft 3 to raise the raw at 10% or go for another critical eye and critical boost 3. In the end I saw that the Hundi 3 are a very tiny better than the other option. I'm talking about something of 475 versus 479 damage in a combo that is totally meaningless. Same happens if you try to play around attack boost. You end wasting spare slots for meaningless damage differences. I don't play the mathematically optimal damage but apply common sense to my building. And in this case, the gasp is so huge that aren't going to change the conclusion here to the main question. What it is the best normal gunlance in every single situation? Let's get into matters. I will go for the worst performance to the best. In case of a close tie, less than 10 points of damage difference in a slam, full burst, combo, the best will be the one without a conditional exploit. Number 5. Thunderbolt Gunlance. This one will be in a higher position in update 3.0 once we get its final version, and here shows that without that upgrade, is a waste of materials. The only reason why is here is because features the flying exploit ramp up. This one gives a 5% extra to shell and melee damage, and is nowhere close to compensate for the lack of sharpness and bad shell type. A slam plus full burst combo does about 335 damage in a 60% hit zone and 318 in a 45% hit zone. A full combo of slam plus full burst plus sweep does 432 and 391. Neither of those includes the 35 thunder, then is worth from 3 to 9 extra damage each that are not going to make any difference with the slow combo of slam, full burst and sweep. And remember, this damage includes the flying exploit bonus. So, a 5% extra damage is not enough to make a level 4 normal gunlance viable. What about a 10% now? Number 4. Zinogre Gunlance. Aquatic Exploit gives shelling and raw an awesome 10% extra damage. Makes Zinogre Gunlance full burst do only 7 less points of damage than a normal 5 gunlance. But while is a big improvement over the other 4s, still lands at the 4 place because it is a conditional effect and is within 10 points of the following ones: 363 and 342 slam plus full burst damage, 479 and 429 adding the sweep. Once again, the thunder is only worth single-digit numbers. The conclusion is that no exploit is making these worth crafting. Number 2 versus number 3. Ortlander versus Howlitzer. This is now interesting because how close they are to being tied. And one is a long gunlance. You can consider this the Update 2.0 rematch between the top dogs of the first version. Both gunlances are using the affinity ramp up. Rathians normally don't have affinity, but you can get it by picking it and upgrading. It provides a higher damage bonus than the 6 raw. The numbers in Slam plus Full Burst are 366 versus 354 and 346 versus 335. And adding the sweep, 476 versus 467 and 429 versus 419. Single-digit differences again. And while by my own rules Rathian Gunlance wins, the long Gunlance is better at anything else. Better uncharged shells, better charged shells, better wyvern fire and better wormstake. What I said in the original 1.0 stands. Howlitzer is a better normal Gunlance than Rathian's. Buit it is no longer the best normal Gunlance. Number 1. No surprises. The Rakna is a beast of a weapon due to the big base affinity. Taking plus 10 raw instead of Wyvern Exploit, it has 390 and 364 damage. Compared with Rathian's 366 and 346 with Slam plus Burst and adding Sweep 536 and 474 versus 476 and 427. A big 12% difference in the big combo and a 7% in the small one, that is significant. Note that if even you could add Handicraft for free in Rathian Gunlance, Rakna would win. It is that much stronger. If Wyvern Exploit, that is really Dragon Exploit, but I call it this way because it works in Wyvern-type monsters and not Elder Dragons, gets even further with 551 and 488 damage. And this one also gets a bit of fire damage, and if there weren't enough 1 level 2 slot and 2 level 1 ones. This one is just the best at everything. Shelling, affinity, slots, and attack. A true titan of the update. My following steps is determining the equivalent wide Gunlance that is even more confusing since there are big candidates to be the best one with no clear winner. Almudrons? Tigrexes? Bariotes? Cornpopper? Let's find it together. Thanks for watching, and as always, remember to subscribe if you want more videos like this. Also comment if you disagree with something or think it is incomplete. I welcome any feedback because I use this stuff for personal use, to improve my gunlancing. And yours. See you in the hunt.